Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. First off, I'm sorry that if you can hear anything in the background, it's construction going on outside and things happening in my home as well. Second of all, I hope that the picture looks good. I'm filming on my iPad. This is the introduction to part 2 of the writing vlog that I did last week. So last week's video was supposed to be like 50 to 1 hour long, and I didn't want that for you guys, so I split it into 2 vlogs, and this is part 2. Last vlog ended at the 18th of August, and this vlog begins at the 19th of August. So my tip is to watch them like one video, or watch the first video first and then this one. Do not skip the first video, because I'm talking about things in that video that I'm talking about in this video, and vice versa. So I can link that video in one of these corners and also in the description below. And with that said, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and let's go back to the 19th of August and begin this video. Hello, welcome back to another update. It's the next day, it's the 19th, and drum roll please, I can't add one, but let's just imagine it together. I have only the epilogue left to write. I have written totally 81,000 words. That is the end of the book. I have written the end of the book. But now I have the epilogue left to write. So I could end it here. I could end the vlog here, I guess. I could just try to not think about it. But you know what? It's midday. It's like 1 o'clock in the day. And I have nothing else to do. Like nothing else. I need to do a thumbnail for how to outline your books that I did, based on my own experience of course, but that's my how-to guide of how I outline my books, and if you haven't watched that video I can link that in one of these corners and also in the description below. But yes, I'm gonna do a thumbnail for that, and that's it. That's the only thing that I have to do today. So even though I have written maybe 2,000 words or something already today, I am gonna sit down and write, and I'm gonna look at my notes for the epilogue, and I'm gonna try to sink into the feeling of the third main character, and I'm gonna do my best at writing her POV, because I know what is happening in the epilogue. I know like what events, I know the plot that is happening, but the internal conflict is still a bit of a struggle. I talked about this yesterday. Her internal conflict, if it should be like trust issues, and when I thought about that, I came up with a lot of ideas of how her trust issues can be shown in the novel, like her making bad decisions based on her trust issues and trusting the wrong people. With that being said, I don't want it to feel like it's the same theme as in book 2 here, because in book 2 my main character is kind of, she judges people a lot based on her first impressions of people, and she has to learn the hard way that, you know, her first impressions of people may not be the right ones, and her judging people can lead to disaster if she like judges the wrong person to be guilty and then she trusts the wrong person. So I'm gonna go with the trust issues theme, I think. And the whole thing with book 3 is that she has to learn to trust people from her own, like, where she grew up, and she also has to learn to trust the enemy and cooperate with the enemy to try to like save the world. So I think I'm gonna go with that. But this is the thing, my book, the first book in this series, is not gonna be published until fall 2023. Book 2 that I just finished writing is not gonna be published until 2024 hopefully, and the third book 2025. So if I don't start writing the third book after like having written the second book here, so if I don't start it this year even, that's okay. But what I'm dreading is that if I don't start the third book this year, that means that every single month and writing day is gonna be about editing the first book, Gods of the Ruin, with the publisher, and then editing by myself the second book. So yeah, I don't really know what's gonna happen. I know that for the last couple of months of this year, I'm gonna try to weave together working on book 1 and book 2 separately. So when I have book 1 in with me, when it's my turn to edit, I'm gonna focus solely on that, and then as soon as I turn it back in, I'm gonna take like maybe a couple of days of break, and then I'm gonna jump back into the second book. So yes, anyway, I'm gonna sit down and write the epilogue, and I really feel like after talking to you a lot about this, I feel kind of pumped up and excited to write the epilogue. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna kill it. I also began thinking about making a pitch for this book. I have not written a pitch, and I have not sent in a pitch for the publisher, so they don't really know what this book is about except for what I have been putting out on Instagram. So I'm gonna make a more like traditional pitch that you send in to a publisher. I'm gonna make that, maybe not today, but I'm gonna continue the vlog after today, I think. And next week I'm gonna print out this book, and you can come with me while I print it out. And I'm gonna do a synopsis for it, just so that I have something that I can send to the publishers. And now that I have written the whole book, I can do a better synopsis than I would have in the beginning, because in the beginning I had this idea of what this book would turn out to be, and while it kind of stayed in the same vein as that, small details change. Like, for example, I had more victims in the murder mystery. I had more victims when I outlined the book, and then when I actually started writing it, that changed. And so many things were added to the story while writing. So I feel like I can do it more justice doing it this way and doing a synopsis. And the synopsis is gonna consist of like the hook that makes the publisher want to read it and sign it with me. And so since it's 2 main characters, it's gonna be, I don't know if you have read like romance books on the back of romance books, but oftentimes when it's 2 POVs, it is like 1 paragraph from the female main character and her internal conflict, and then a paragraph from the male main character, or whatever gender, whatever POV it is. So 2 different paragraphs for 2 different POVs. You can just say it as that. So I'm gonna do that with pictures, even though it's fantasy romance. I'm still gonna do it that way, so we can see that both characters have internal conflict, and then the bigger plot line that is weaving them together. So that's what I'm gonna do, and you can come with me. I don't know if I will be able to write that today, because I feel like when I'm writing synopsises, I have written 1 synopsis or pitch to send to a publisher, and then I have written 1 more that I just put up on Instagram, and that's for Project Full Moon. And I don't know if the publishers were like interested or intrigued by that pitch, but I haven't sent it to them like officially. Anyway, it's a lot going on in my head, and I feel like when talking about this, I always go on and on and on about things that is just not important right now. For example, Project Full Moon. Why am I talking about that? I don't know. So I'm gonna try to ground myself, and I'm gonna write the damn epilogue. Oh my god. I'm actually done. So I'm done. I wrote the end of the book too. I wrote the epilogue, and it ended up being 778 words, and it's a lot of just walking and anguish, and then a big plot twist in the end. I am happy, but I was kind of debating because there's like 2 groups of people that the main character is gonna be with in book 2. Oh, book 3, I mean. The sequel after this one. And I was wondering if she should meet the good ones first, or if she should meet the bad ones first. Now that I'm done, I don't know what the hell that I'm gonna do, or yeah, I do. It's only 13:58 in the like midday, so basically I will start writing the synopsis today, and I'm gonna take you through that experience as well. But I'm just gonna say the final word count, and the final word count of this draft is 81,874 words, and today I have written 3,294 words. Let's get through the stats, shall we? So Act 1, in the final first draft, the word count of Act 1 was 34,740 words and 21 chapters. Act 2, it was 30,037 words and it was 16 chapters. In Act 3, the shortest act, this is only 17,000, almost 20, so that's actually good, and 14 chapters, including the epilogue. So the first act and first half is definitely the longest, and I think that the first act is where I need to cut the most words, because I did a lot of info dumping in the beginning, because a new book, new characters, and if you haven't read the first one, I wanted you to be able to read this as a standalone in of itself. That was my intention in the beginning, at least, that this series would be a series of standalones, but they are way more interconnected than I originally planned for, so I don't really feel like I can say that they are standalones anymore, because even though this story in book 2 is about 2 characters that are not main characters in book 1, and the things that are happening in book 2 are not connected that much to book 1, I still feel like in the overarching scheme of the series they are way more interconnected. Like in book 2 we find out a lot about the magic system in the worlds that is gonna play a huge role in book 3, so I can't really say that these are standalones anymore, but I am freaking done. I'm freaking done, and I just got this book in the mail. It's so beautiful. If you are Swedish and following me right now, go check out Kaninhjärta by Molly Eriksson. It's a Swedish novel by a Swedish author, and it's so freaking adorable. But here we have the map that she, the author, has drawn herself, and this is, I'm very happy about it. I won a giveaway of this copy. It hasn't been released yet, but it will be released soon. So if you live in Sweden, go check out Kaninhjärta. It has a website, kaninhjärta.com. Just go check it out. But anyway, I just want to show this book because it's so pretty. And I'm a little bit all over the place right now, so I'm gonna take a break and watch some YouTube because I have been getting into more of watching writing videos again from fellow author tubers. No, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save it, a backup of it. Then I'm gonna go and write a synopsis. Gonna focus on the internal conflict because that is the most important thing. Also on the murder mystery to try to like make the publisher excited. And I'm gonna talk about the tropes as well because that's everything. The tropes that are the biggest tropes in this book is definitely hate to love, that's a thing, and also marriage of convenience. So I hope that they want a book like that. I did it, but I'm not happy with it. So what I did for Gods of Ruin, the pitch there, was that I have kind of set up a template for these kind of pitches. And I was watching, I think, a lot of YouTube videos. I don't know what videos I watched, but I don't know, you can probably Google pitch, and I concluded it to 4 different paragraphs or things to include in the pitch. So I'm beginning with an introduction where I'm saying what the manuscript is called, how many words, that it has the potential for a sequel, and this book suits readers of this author and this author, or this movie, or that likes these books, or this kind of thing. That's the first thing, and then we come to the actual pitch. And here I have 3 different paragraphs. The first paragraph is the book, about the book, conflict setup, and what the character wants. And the character is the most important thing because that's what you are building the pitch on, especially for my case, because I'm not relying on big world building things, like cool world building things or plot things. I'm relying on my characters and their character arc. So in the first setup, I am focusing on what the character wants, like what is her or his situation beginning with the book, and what do they want, what do they fear. So I did that for both of my characters, really relying on, like I said, the wants, the motive, and what they fear. And I did that for both of my characters. And then I did a conflict, very short about the conflict, what is standing from getting what they want, essentially. That's the conflict of the story. So my conflict, for example, is about the murder mystery and how the murder mystery stands in my character's way of getting what they want. For my mailman character, for example, he has this fear and he wants to have all of the duties laid on him, and because of that he pushes away everyone that wants to help him because he kind of thinks that he's like his father, or people around him are like his father, and he feels like since the burden has been put on me, I should take the whole like blame for everything that happens and take responsibility for everything, even though he can't do that. So because of this, he doesn't want my female main character go digging in that stuff because wants to like be responsible for everything happening. So the murders are then standing in his way of getting what he wants because the murders are kind of triggering for my female main character. She wants to investigate, and that's how the conflict will play into their kind of dynamic and relationship. And then I also talk a little bit about my female main character, but that's the very short one because the important thing with doing a pitch is that you need to keep it really short and you need to keep it up until the inciting incident. I'm going a little bit after the inciting incident, but not at all into Act 2, because this is the hook. This is what the publisher, like, they would want to read more. I don't want to give them all the answers because I want them to read the book first. So that's the second thing, and that's really short, the conflict. And then stakes. I got this tip from somewhere, but it said leave them with a drop in the stomach. Like, what is at stakes if they don't get what they want, like their fears again, and leave them with a drop in the stomach. And I was looking at a pitch for like an actual synopsis on the back of a book, Radiance by Grace Draven, and I tried to like see how she had done that synopsis. The last thing that she gave, like as in the synopsis, was the promise of the premise, like the promise of the romance and the more political things. So it says Two people brought together by the trappings of duty and politics will discover they are destined for each other, even as the powers of hostile kingdoms scheme to tear them apart. So that's like the promise of the book, and I want to do something similar, so I hope that it leaves kind of a drop in the stomach, or like it excites whoever reads this to want to read the whole book. So yeah, I'm not happy with this, like I said. I still like the whole template, so I'm gonna keep with the template. But because I have two characters, even though I hopefully managed to juggle both characters well in the actual book, in the pitch, it's way more difficult to keep it concise and still be able to, talk about the both POVs and how both of them have internal struggles, and then how those internal struggles play against each other in the conflict, and then try to hook with a last line. So yeah, it kind of really helped to read other synopsises. They are not the same thing as a pitch, so I'm trying to make my pitch more suited for sending into a publisher. But this synopsis was very great, and I'm gonna go look at this again, like read through the synopsis for Radiance by Grace Traven, and then I'm gonna go and read my pitch again and see what I can change, because this is just the first draft of a pitch. I'm not gonna send this in. I'm not that happy with it, and I feel like I need to make it more concise. So with that said, the next time I'm gonna talk with you will be when I am printing out this book, because I'm gonna do that in the next week. So now it's Friday, and now I'm gonna just chillax, do whatever I want. We're gonna have a nice dinner today with my grandparents, and I'm very excited about it. But I'm glad that I was able to finish my book today and do a pitch. But anyway, I'm gonna shut the computer down now, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know when you have worked on something for so long that now that it's done, you feel kind of lost. Hello, I'm just sitting in the car having my lunch break. It's currently like 15:40. I'm working right now, so this is my lunch break at work, and I have worked since 12:30 and I'm working until 19 o'clock. And I drove myself to work, and that's just a crazy thing to say. 1 year ago, I couldn't see myself in this situation because I was scared just sitting in a car driving. I had no rational fear of driving because I have never been in a car accident. So I don't know why I was so scared. I was just not ready for it. So sitting here is just really unbelievable. I just thought that I could update you on my life because I am sitting here. I have already eaten my lunch or my break snacks. But what I want to talk about was that I have started printing off my book. The thing is, my grandparents bought recently a new printer, and it's great, like everything else is great except for it can't print double-sided. I think I will update you in a couple of days, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, because tomorrow we're going to a city near here and we're gonna go to secondhand stores and just see what we can find there. That's my little update. I haven't printed anything because I finished the freaking book just a couple of days ago, so I want to have it printed out. So I talked about in this vlog that I have signed the contract with my publisher to have my short story being done as an audiobook or audio short story, and I'm so happy with that, and I feel really proud of myself, and I feel really proud of them for doing something like this because it's not done very often. I don't think it has ever been done, the thing that they're doing. Some inside information secrets. I have already seen my cover for it, and it's so, I don't know how to call it, like beautiful, soft and light, and just it's like a warm hug. And even though my short story is kind of not warm at all, I just feel like it's so fitting. And with that said, I'm gonna go because I think I will be late if I sit here any longer. Man blir lite köpsugen. Om man ser allting så tänker man så här hur man kan inreda även fast man inte har plats. welcome to the end of this writing vlog. I just wanted to end the video here because I wasn't able to after I printed out this book. So here it is, the full 81,000 words. And since then I have been working and it went well. It was very fun, and it's sad that I'm not gonna work there anymore until maybe that next year. Kind of a bittersweet ending there, but it was very fun and I loved working there at the library, and I'm glad to do it again. But then I filmed some clips when we were at IKEA. IKEA is the way that we pronounce it in Sweden, or at least my family does. But then IKEA is most common maybe for most of you. So we stopped there to eat dinner, and then we also bought some things. I bought like a hanger for my wardrobe, and so the following day after that I spent the whole day trying to screw that in and replace some shelves and mix with the shelving system in my wardrobe, but I'm not gonna show that to you. And then I also bought 2 corkboards because I have now sold the square mirror that I have above my writing nook. I had a square mirror above my desk and also like makeup lights on the sides, but I am not having that anymore because I'm not that into makeup. Like, I do my makeup routine in like 10-15 minutes. So that is officially gone. And I'm gonna have 2 corkboards because I want to like be able to put up some goals or vision boards things above my desk, so that I will look up and see pictures that remind me of my work in progress or other things that I need to do. So that's that. And with that said, I thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment below and let me know what you're writing on right now. And subscribe because I post a new video every week, every Thursday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!